Marcus Carter pulled his red Ferrari into his own driveway and felt the eyes on him immediately. The neighbors stopped, stared, whispered into their phones. He'd worked 20 years for that car, every sacrifice, every late night, every dream deferred and finally earned. But none of that mattered when the police cruiser pulled up behind him. They asked him to step out, treated him like a criminal on his own property, because in their eyes, a black man couldn't possibly own what he'd earned. Subscribe right now. This story will shake you to your core, and I need to know where you're watching from. Marcus Carter felt the sun warm on his face through the windshield. The Ferrari's engine purred beneath him. He'd worked 20 years for this moment. Every late night, every sacrifice, every doubt pushed aside. He turned onto Maple Ridge Drive. The street curved through perfectly manicured lawns. His grandfather's house sat at the end. 3 generations of Carters had lived there. Marcus was proud to be next. "Beautiful day," he said to himself. His voice was quiet, almost reverent. A woman walked her dog across the street. She stopped. Her eyes found his through the windshield. Marcus smiled and waved. She didn't wave back. Her gaze lingered on the car, then on him, then back to the car. Something shifted in her expression. Marcus's chest tightened. He knew that look. He'd seen it before. But not here. Not in front of his own home. He pulled into the driveway. The engine went silent. Through his mirror, he watched the woman. She pulled out her phone. Her fingers moved quickly across the screen. Marcus felt uneasy. "It's nothing," he whispered. But his hands gripped the steering wheel harder than necessary. He sat there, waiting. The silence stretched. Then he saw it. 2 more neighbors had stopped on the sidewalk. They were staring. One pointed. The other shook her head slowly. Marcus's breath caught. He opened the door, stepped onto his own driveway, his own property. The place his grandfather had bought in 1965, when nobody wanted to sell to a black family. "Hey there," Marcus called out. His voice was friendly, warm. The neighbors turned away. They walked faster. Their conversation grew animated. Marcus couldn't hear the words. But he knew. He always knew. "Sir," a voice said behind him. Marcus turned. His stomach dropped. A police cruiser had pulled up to the curb. The officer was getting out. His hand rested near his belt. "Can I help you?" Marcus asked. "We got a call about a stolen vehicle," the officer said. Marcus felt his world tilt sideways. Alan Miller stood at his living room window. His coffee had gone cold in his hand. He watched the Ferrari in Marcus's driveway. Red, gleaming, expensive. "Susan," he called, "come look at this." His wife joined him. Her silk robe whispered against the floor. She held her phone. Her eyes found the car immediately. "That's Marcus Carter's place," Susan said. "I know whose place it is," Alan said. His voice was sharp. Susan's breath caught. She understood her husband's tone. 20 years of marriage had taught her that much. "You don't think," she started. "I think we should be cautious," Alan said. "That car costs more than most houses on this street." "He inherited that property," Susan said. "Maybe he inherited a house doesn't mean you can afford a Ferrari," Alan said. He set his coffee down, pulled out his phone. His fingers moved across the screen. Susan watched him. Something shifted in her expression. She wanted to object, but she didn't. "Who are you calling?" she asked. "The Neighborhood Watch Group," Alan said. "Better safe than sorry." Susan felt uneasy, but she said nothing. Alan's confidence had always guided their decisions. His certainty had built their life. She trusted him, even when doubt crept in. The phone buzzed in Alan's hand. Messages appeared. Other neighbors had seen the car, too. Questions filled the group chat. Suspicions multiplied. "See?" Alan said. "I'm not the only one concerned." "What if we're wrong?" Susan asked. Her voice was quiet, almost apologetic. "We're not wrong," Alan said. "Look at him." Through the window, Marcus stood beside the car. Police had arrived. The officer approached slowly. Marcus's hands were visible, non-threatening, but Alan saw guilt. He was certain of it. "He looks nervous," Alan said. "He looks scared," Susan whispered. Alan's jaw tightened. He didn't like being contradicted, not even gently, not even by his wife. "Call the Harringtons," Alan said. "Tell them what's happening. We need to document this." Susan hesitated. Her chest tightened. But she picked up her phone. Her fingers trembled slightly. She told herself Alan was protecting the neighborhood, protecting their property values, their safety. She told herself this was right, but something deep inside her whispered differently. Rachel Thompson watched from her kitchen window. Her coffee had grown cold. The morning had changed. Everything felt wrong. The police car sat at the curb. Marcus stood perfectly still. His hands were raised slightly, visible, unthreatening. Rachel's stomach twisted. "Mom, what's happening?" her daughter asked. "Nothing, sweetie," Rachel said. "Go finish your breakfast." Her voice was calm, practiced, but her hands shook. Rachel had seen the neighborhood watch messages. Alan Miller's words had been forceful, certain. She'd read them twice, felt the weight behind them, the unspoken accusations. She hadn't responded. Her phone buzzed again. Another message, another neighbor joining the speculation. Rachel felt sick. "Should I call someone?" she whispered to herself. But who? And say what? That she thought Alan was wrong? That assuming Marcus stole the car felt racist? The word scared her, made her uncomfortable. She'd never thought of herself that way. "Mrs. Thompson?" a voice called. Rachel jumped. Her neighbor Linda stood at the back door. Her expression was eager, excited even, the kind of excitement that came from drama, from gossip. "Did you see?" Linda asked. "I saw," Rachel said. "Alan was right to call," Linda said. "Better safe than sorry. You never know these days." Rachel felt her throat tighten. Those words. These days. You never know. They meant something else, something uglier. "Marcus has lived here his whole life," Rachel said. Her voice was soft, careful. "Well, that doesn't mean anything," Linda said. "Times change. People change. My husband says we need to be vigilant." Rachel wanted to scream. She wanted to run outside. Tell the police this was wrong, that Marcus was being judged unfairly. That skin color had put him in handcuffs on his own property. But she didn't move. "I need to get my daughter to school," Rachel said. Linda's eyes found hers. Something shifted in Linda's expression. Disappointment, maybe. Or judgment. "Of course," Linda said. "We'll talk later." Linda left. Rachel stood alone in her kitchen. Through the window, she watched Marcus answer questions. His dignity remained intact. His voice stayed calm. But Rachel saw the humiliation in his shoulders, the weight pressing down. She'd done nothing to stop it. Her breath caught. Guilt flooded through her. Sharp and undeniable. Rachel felt ashamed. Marcus's throat was dry. The officer stood 3 feet away, his hand still near his belt. Another cruiser had arrived. 2 officers now, both white, both watching him carefully. "Sir, I need to see your license and registration," the first officer said. "Of course," Marcus said. His voice was steady, professional. He'd learned this tone young. Keep calm. Don't react. Survive. He reached slowly for his wallet. The officers tensed. Marcus froze. "Slowly," the second officer said. "I am moving slowly," Marcus said. He pulled out his license. His hands didn't shake. He wouldn't give them that. The registration was in the glove compartment. He explained this before moving, asked permission, received a curt nod. The process felt endless. Neighbors had gathered on the sidewalk. Marcus counted 7, maybe 8, all watching. Some had phones out, recording, capturing his humiliation for posterity. Marcus felt exposed. "This is your vehicle?" the first officer asked. "Yes," Marcus said. "Can you prove that?" "The registration is in your hand," Marcus said. His voice was tight now. Controlled anger pushed against his calm. "Anyone can forge documents," the second officer said. Marcus's chest tightened. This wasn't procedure. This was suspicion. Prejudice dressed in uniform. "I've lived in this house my entire life," Marcus said. "My grandfather bought this property in 1965. My father grew up here. I grew up here. This is my home. That is my car." "Sir, we're just doing our job," the first officer said. "Your job based on what?" Marcus asked. "A phone call? From who?" The officers exchanged glances. Something shifted in their expressions. Uncertainty, maybe, or recognition that this had gone too far. "We'll need to verify the VIN," the first officer said. Marcus felt defeated. Not because he'd done something wrong, but because nothing he said mattered. His truth was irrelevant. His dignity was optional. "Go ahead," Marcus said. The officers moved to the car, checked the vehicle identification number, made calls, verified what Marcus had already told them. The minutes crawled past, each one an eternity of public shame. Finally, the first officer returned. "Everything checks out," he said. "Sorry for the inconvenience." Inconvenience. The word hung in the air, bitter and insufficient. "Am I free to go?" Marcus asked. "You're on your own property," the officer said. "You were always free." The lie was so obvious, so cruel. Marcus said nothing. The officers left. The cruisers pulled away. The neighbors dispersed slowly, reluctantly. Marcus stood alone in his driveway. His hands were shaking now. Tom Anderson's truck pulled up 20 minutes later. He'd seen Marcus's text. 3 words. "Need you here." Tom jumped out. His face was tight with worry. He found Marcus sitting on the front porch steps, silent, staring at nothing. "Mark," Tom said. Marcus didn't look up. Tom sat beside him. The silence stretched between them. Tom had known Marcus since college. 20 years of friendship. He'd never seen this look, this defeated emptiness. "What happened?" Tom asked. "They called the cops on me," Marcus said. His voice was hollow. "Who did?" "The Millers, maybe others. Does it matter?" Marcus said. Tom felt anger rise in his chest, but also something else, something uncomfortable. He'd driven through this neighborhood dozens of times, never been stopped, never been questioned. His skin color was a passport he'd never had to show. "That's insane," Tom said. "Is it?" Marcus asked. Tom's breath caught. The question held weight, accusation maybe, or just exhaustion. "You know I don't think," Tom started. "I know," Marcus said. "I know you don't. But you don't have to think about it. That's the difference." Tom felt his chest tighten. Marcus was right. Tom had never questioned whether he belonged anywhere, never explained his presence, never proved his ownership of anything. "What are you going to do?" Tom asked. "I don't know," Marcus said. "You could file a complaint," Tom said. "This is discrimination, clear and simple." "Against who?" Marcus asked. "Anonymous neighbors? Police doing their job? The whole system?" His voice was bitter now, sharp. Tom wanted to argue, to insist justice existed. But the words felt hollow. False. "I'm sorry," Tom said. "For what?" Marcus asked. "For not understanding," Tom said. For being able to walk away from this, for— Don't, Marcus said. Don't make this about your guilt. I'm too tired for that. Tom fell silent. Marcus was right again. Tom's discomfort was nothing compared to Marcus's humiliation. His need to apologize was selfish, an attempt to feel better about complicity he couldn't escape. What do you need? Tom asked. Marcus finally looked at him. His eyes found Tom's. Something shifted in Marcus's expression. Not forgiveness, but acknowledgement. Tom was trying, however imperfectly. I need to know I'm not crazy, Marcus said. I need someone to see what just happened, to witness it, to confirm I didn't imagine the whole thing. You're not crazy, Tom said. His voice was firm, certain. They treated me like a criminal, Marcus said. I know. On my own property. I know. Marcus's breath caught. The tears came suddenly, unwanted. He wiped them away roughly, ashamed of his own emotion. Tom put a hand on his friend's shoulder. They sat together in silence. Rachel couldn't focus on work. Her laptop screen blurred. The words meant nothing. Through her home office window, she could see Marcus's house, the driveway, the red Ferrari still parked there, evidence of his success, his hard work, his right to be there. Her phone buzzed. The neighborhood watch group was still active, still discussing Marcus, still questioning. Rachel felt sick. Susan Miller had posted a message. Just concerned for everyone's safety. Can never be too careful. The replies came quickly. Agreements, affirmations. One neighbor even suggested reviewing security footage, looking for patterns. Rachel's hands balled into fists. This is wrong, she whispered. But she didn't type anything, didn't object. Her silence was agreement. She knew that, hated herself for it. Her daughter Emma appeared in the doorway, 10 years old, curious, observant. Mom, why were the police at Mr. Carter's house? Emma asked. Rachel felt her throat tighten. How did she explain this? How did she tell her daughter that adults could be cruel? That prejudice existed in their neighborhood, in their community, in her own inaction? There was a misunderstanding, Rachel said. The lie tasted bitter. About what? Emma asked. His car, Rachel said. But that's his car, Emma said. I've seen him drive it before. He let me sit in it once, remember? Rachel did remember. Marcus had been kind, patient. He'd explained the car's features to Emma, answered her questions, made her feel special. Some people didn't know that, Rachel said. Why didn't they just ask him? Emma asked. The question was so simple, so obvious, so devastating. I don't know, sweetie, Rachel said. But she did know. She knew exactly why. They'd assumed, judged, decided based on nothing but appearance, nothing but skin color. That seems mean, Emma said. It was mean, Rachel said. Her voice was quiet, ashamed. Emma studied her mother's face. Something shifted in her expression. Understanding beyond her years. Did you know it was his car? Emma asked. Rachel felt her chest tighten. The question was innocent, but the weight behind it crushed her. Yes, Rachel said. Did you tell them? Rachel's breath caught. She couldn't speak, couldn't explain, couldn't justify her silence. Mom, Emma said. No, Rachel said. I didn't tell them. Why not? Rachel had no answer, none that made sense, none that absolved her. She'd been afraid, uncomfortable, unwilling to challenge her neighbors, to risk social standing, to do what was right. I made a mistake, Rachel said. Emma nodded slowly, then left the room. Rachel sat alone. Her daughter's judgment felt heavier than all the guilt combined. Rachel felt ashamed, deeply and completely ashamed. Marcus showered for 30 minutes. The water couldn't wash away the humiliation. His skin felt raw. His mind replayed every moment, every stare, every assumption. He dressed slowly. Each movement felt heavy. Tom had left an hour ago, promised to return tomorrow. Marcus appreciated the gesture, but Tom's support couldn't erase what happened. Nothing could. His phone buzzed. A text from his sister in Atlanta. She'd seen something on social media. Someone had posted video of the police interaction. Marcus felt sick. "Call me," the text said. Marcus didn't call. He couldn't explain it again. Couldn't relive it. Not now. He went downstairs, made coffee he wouldn't drink, sat at his grandfather's kitchen table. The wood was worn smooth from decades of family meals, homework sessions, celebrations. His grandfather had built a life here, created space for his family when space was denied elsewhere. Marcus felt he'd failed that legacy. "You didn't do anything wrong," he said aloud. But the words felt empty. Wrong or not, he'd been treated as criminal, as threat, as less than human. His doorbell rang. Marcus tensed. His heart raced. Who now? More questions? More accusations? He considered not answering, hiding in his own home. But that felt wrong, too. He wouldn't be driven into hiding. He opened the door. Susan Miller stood on his porch. Alone. Her face was pale, her hands twisted together nervously. "Mr. Carter," she said. Her voice was uncertain. "Mrs. Miller," Marcus said. The silence stretched between them, awkward and heavy. Susan seemed to struggle with words. Marcus waited. He wouldn't make this easy for her. "I wanted to," Susan started. "That is, I thought—" "What do you want?" Marcus asked. His voice was cold. He didn't care. "I wanted to apologize," Susan said. Marcus felt nothing. No relief. No satisfaction. Her apology meant nothing without understanding, without change. "For what, specifically?" Marcus asked. Susan's eyes found his. Something shifted in her expression. Discomfort. Recognition that simple words weren't enough. "For calling the police," she said. "For assuming, for being racist?" Marcus asked. Susan flinched. The word hung between them. Sharp and undeniable. "I'm not racist," Susan said. "Then what are you?" Marcus asked. Susan had no answer. She stood there, squirming under truth she couldn't escape. Marcus felt tired. So impossibly tired. "Thank you for the apology," Marcus said, "but I need you to leave now." "Mr. Carter, please." "Leave," Marcus said. His voice was firm, final. Susan left. Marcus closed the door, leaned against it. His breath caught. The tears came again, harder this time. He slid down to the floor, sat there, let himself feel everything he'd suppressed, the humiliation, the anger, the bone-deep exhaustion of being black in a world that questioned his right to exist. Marcus felt broken. Morning came too soon. Marcus hadn't slept. He'd stared at the ceiling, watched shadows move across his bedroom, listened to the house settle. His grandfather's house, his home. He wouldn't let them take it from him. Marcus stood in front of his mirror, straightened his tie. His reflection looked back. Professional, composed, dignified. He would not hide, would not shrink, would not give them the satisfaction of seeing him broken. His phone showed 23 missed calls, texts from friends, family, colleagues. Everyone had seen the video. Everyone knew. Marcus ignored them all. He had somewhere to be. The neighborhood association met this morning. First Saturday of the month. Marcus had never attended before. Saw no need. But now he would be there, would face them, would speak his truth. Tom's truck pulled into the driveway at 8:45. They'd discussed this last night. Tom would go with him. Witness, support, brother. "You ready?" Tom asked. Marcus felt his jaw tighten. "Ready? No, but necessary? Yes. Let's go," Marcus said. The community center was packed. Marcus walked in with Tom beside him. Conversations stopped. Heads turned. The silence was deafening. Marcus held his head high, his shoulders back. He would not give them his fear. Alan Miller sat at the front table. Board president, self-appointed moral authority. His face tightened when he saw Marcus. "Mr. Carter," Alan said, "this is a residents-only meeting." "I am a resident," Marcus said. His voice was steady, powerful. "Of course," Alan said. "I just meant—" "I know what you meant," Marcus said. Marcus walked to the front, stood before them all. Every neighbor who'd watched, who'd recorded, who'd assumed, who'd judged. "I have something to say," Marcus said. Alan's eyes found his. Something shifted in Alan's expression. Fear, maybe. Recognition that control was slipping. "This isn't the time," Alan said. "When is the time?" Marcus asked. "After I'm arrested on my own property. After my reputation is destroyed. After you decide I'm human enough to be heard." The room was silent. Uncomfortable. Truth had arrived uninvited. "I'm speaking," Marcus said, "and you're going to listen." Tom stood beside him, silent, supportive. Other faces in the crowd showed shame, regret, but not all. Some remained defensive, certain of their righteousness. Marcus's breath caught. This was it. The moment to reclaim his dignity, his voice, his place in this community his family had built. "My name is Marcus Carter," he said, "and I'm not going anywhere." Marcus stood before the neighborhood association. Every eye was on him. His chest tightened. But he wouldn't back down. Not now. Not after everything. "3 days ago, police came to my home," Marcus said. "Someone called them. Someone assumed I'd stolen my own car." Alan Miller shifted in his seat. His face was red. His hands gripped the table edge. "That was a misunderstanding," Alan said. "Was it?" Marcus asked. His voice was sharp, challenging. "We were concerned about safety," Susan Miller added. "It wasn't personal." "Everything is personal when you're black," Marcus said. "Every glance, every assumption, every phone call to police." The silence stretched, heavy and uncomfortable. Marcus saw faces turn away. Shame, maybe, or unwillingness to acknowledge truth. Rachel sat 3 rows back. Her hands were folded in her lap. She was watching him, really watching. Something shifted in her expression. "I've lived here my entire life," Marcus said. "My grandfather bought that house in 1965. He faced discrimination then. I face it now. Nothing has changed." "That's not fair," a voice called from the back. Marcus turned, recognized Bill Henderson, retired professor, liberal bumper stickers on his car, self-proclaimed ally. "What's not fair?" Marcus asked. "To suggest we're all prejudiced," Bill said. "Some of us support—" "I don't need your support," Marcus said. "I need your silence to end. I need you to speak up when you see injustice. Not after, during." Bill's face flushed. He looked down, his breath caught. Tom touched Marcus's arm gently, a reminder to breathe, to pace himself. Marcus nodded slightly. "I'm not here for apologies," Marcus said. "I'm here to tell you I'm staying. This is my home, my family's home, and I won't be driven out by fear or prejudice or discomfort." He turned to Alan directly. Their eyes met. "You called the police on me," Marcus said. "Own it. Say it out loud." Alan's jaw tightened. His wife touched his hand. A warning, maybe, or plea. "I was concerned," Alan said. "About what specifically?" Marcus asked. "The car seemed—" "Seemed what? Too expensive for me?" Marcus asked. Alan said nothing. His silence was answer enough. Marcus felt something shift inside him. Not victory, but clarity. He'd named the thing they all danced around, made it visible, undeniable. We'll continue this discussion later, Alan said. We have agenda items. No, Rachel's voice cut through. Everyone turned. She stood slowly. Her voice was quiet, but firm. Mr. Carter isn't finished, Rachel said. Marcus's eyes found hers. Gratitude flashed between them. The meeting ended badly. No resolution, no accountability, just awkward silence and hurried exits. Marcus watched them scatter. Avoid eye contact. Rush to their cars. Tom drove them back. Neither spoke. What was there to say? Marcus's phone buzzed constantly. The video had spread beyond the neighborhood. News outlets wanted statements. Civil rights organizations offered support. Everyone wanted a piece of his pain. He turned the phone off. 2 days passed. Marcus worked from home, avoided the neighborhood. But isolation felt wrong, like surrender, like letting them win. On Wednesday, he went to the grocery store, the local one 3 blocks away. He'd shopped there for years, knew the layout, the staff, the rhythms. But now everything felt different. People stared. Some approached with sympathy. Others whispered, pointed. Marcus felt exposed, raw. Mr. Carter? A voice said. He turned. Young woman, maybe 30, holding a microphone, camera crew behind her. I'm Jennifer Walsh with Channel 7, she said. Can we ask you a few questions? No, Marcus said. The public deserves to know. I said no, Marcus said. His voice was hard. Final. He left his cart. Walked out. The crew followed briefly, then stopped. Marcus sat in his car. His hands shook. His breath came short and sharp. He couldn't even buy groceries in peace. His phone rang. He'd turned it back on. Tom's name flashed. Yeah, Marcus answered. You need to see something, Tom said. What now? Alan Miller posted on the neighborhood watch group, Tom said. He's spreading lies about you, saying you threatened him at the meeting, saying you're unstable. Marcus felt rage build in his chest, hot and consuming. Send me a screenshot, Marcus said. Mark, don't engage. Let me handle. Send it, Marcus said. The message arrived. Marcus read it twice. Each word was calculated, designed to paint Marcus as aggressive, dangerous, the angry black man stereotype gift-wrapped in concerned citizen language. He's smart, Marcus said. Never uses race, but everyone understands. What are you going to do? Tom asked. Marcus felt his jaw tighten. He could stay silent, let it blow over. Or he could fight back, push harder, demand accountability. I'm going to his house, Marcus said. That's a bad idea, Tom said. Probably, Marcus said. Mark, think about this. He'll call the cops again. You'll look like... Like what? Marcus asked. Like an angry black man? They already think that. Might as well be accurate. Please don't, Tom said. His voice was desperate. Marcus ended the call, started the car, drove straight to the Miller house. His heart pounded. His hands gripped the steering wheel, white-knuckled, determined. He rang the doorbell. Waited. Alan answered. His face went pale. We need to talk, Marcus said. Alan stepped back. His hand moved toward his phone. Marcus saw the gesture, expected it, almost welcomed it. Don't, Marcus said. I'm here to talk. Nothing more. You threatened me, Alan said. I told the truth, Marcus said. That's not a threat. Susan appeared behind her husband. Her eyes were wide, frightened. Marcus felt something twist in his chest. He didn't want to scare her, didn't want to be the threat they imagined. But he couldn't stay silent either. Your post was a lie, Marcus said. You know it. I know it. Everyone who was at that meeting knows it. I have the right to express concern, Alan said. About what? Marcus asked. What exactly concerns you about me? The question hung between them, sharp and unavoidable. Alan's jaw tightened. He said nothing. Susan touched his shoulder, A warning, or maybe support. Say it, Marcus said. Whatever you're thinking, whatever you believe, say it out loud. You're on my property, Alan said. I'm asking you to leave. Answer the question first, Marcus said. I don't owe you anything, Alan said. Marcus felt his breath catch. The rage he'd suppressed threatened to spill over, but he held it, controlled it, channeled it. You owe me my dignity, Marcus said. You owe me the respect you give every other neighbor. You owe me the assumption of innocence you'd extend to anyone else. I treat everyone the same, Alan said. That's a lie, Marcus said. His voice was quiet, deadly calm. A car pulled up, Rachel's sedan. She got out quickly, walked toward them. Her face was determined. What's happening? Rachel asked. This doesn't concern you, Alan said. It concerns all of us, Rachel said. She stood beside Marcus, not touching, but present, visible, choosing a side. Alan's eyes found hers. Something shifted in his expression. Betrayal, maybe, or anger at defection. Marcus came to talk, Rachel said. That's all, right, Marcus? Marcus nodded slowly. Rachel's presence changed the dynamic, forced civility, created witness. Your post was unfair, Rachel said to Alan. I was at the meeting. Marcus didn't threaten anyone. He spoke truth, uncomfortable truth, but truth. You don't understand, Alan said. Then explain it, Rachel said. Alan looked between them, trapped, exposed, his certainty crumbling under scrutiny. I was concerned about property values, Alan said finally. Because of Marcus? Rachel asked. Because of the situation, Alan said. What situation? Rachel pushed. A black man owning an expensive car, living in his family home, existing in your neighborhood? Alan's face went red. Susan pulled him back gently. We're done here, Susan said. Please leave. Marcus nodded. He'd made his point. Rachel had too. They walked back to the street together. Alan slammed the door. Thank you, Marcus said. His voice was soft. I should have done it sooner, Rachel said. They stood in the fading sunlight. Two neighbors, two people trying to do right. Finally, Marcus felt something shift inside him. Hope, maybe. Small but real. Rachel couldn't sleep that night. She kept seeing Alan's face, his anger, his refusal to acknowledge what he'd done. She'd known the Millers for 5 years, attended their parties, shared meals, laughed at Alan's jokes. She'd never really seen them before. Emma knocked on her bedroom door, late, past bedtime. Mom, can I come in? Sure, sweetie, Rachel said. Emma climbed onto the bed, sat cross-legged. Her face was serious, too serious for 10 years old. Why are people mean to Mr. Carter? Emma asked. Rachel felt her chest tighten. How to explain racism to a child? How to preserve innocence while teaching truth? Because they're afraid, Rachel said. Of what? Of difference, of change, of their own prejudice, Rachel said. Emma's eyes found hers. Something shifted in her expression. Understanding blooming. Is it because he's black? Emma asked. The question was direct, innocent, devastating. Yes, Rachel said. That's stupid, Emma said. Rachel laughed, sudden and unexpected. Her daughter's clarity cut through all the adult complexity. Prejudice was stupid. Simple as that. You're right, Rachel said. It is stupid. Are you going to help him? Emma asked. I'm trying, Rachel said. Try harder, Emma said. She kissed her mother's cheek, went back to bed, left Rachel sitting alone with her daughter's challenge. Try harder. The next morning, Rachel called a neighborhood meeting, not the association, something separate, informal. She posted in the community group, invited anyone who wanted real conversation, real change. 12 people came, more than she expected, less than she hoped. Marcus arrived last. Hesitant, his eyes scanned the room. assessing threat, looking for safety. "Thank you for coming," Rachel said. Her voice was nervous. She'd never organized anything like this, never stood up publicly, never risked social standing for principle. "We need to talk about what happened," Rachel said. "Really talk, without defensiveness, without excuses." "We already discussed this," Bill Henderson said, "at the association meeting." "No," Rachel said. "We avoided it. We let Alan control the narrative. We let Marcus stand alone." Marcus watched her. His face was unreadable, but his eyes held gratitude. "I'm guilty too," Rachel said. "I watched them call the police. I said nothing. I enabled discrimination through silence." Her breath caught. Saying it aloud hurt, but necessary pain. "We all have biases," a woman named Janet said. "That doesn't make us racist." "Doesn't it?" Marcus asked. His voice was quiet, but everyone heard. The room fell silent. The question demanded answer. Uncomfortable, honest answer. "I think," Rachel said carefully, "that we're all capable of racist actions, even if we don't think of ourselves as racist people. The question is what we do when we see it, in ourselves, in others." "What do you want from us?" Bill asked. Marcus stood slowly, walked to the center of the room, all eyes on him. "I want acknowledgement," Marcus said. "I want you to admit what happened. Name it clearly, without softening, without excuse." The silence stretched. "And then?" someone asked. "And then we figure out how to do better," Marcus said. The meeting ended with promises. Small ones, tentative ones. Some neighbors committed to speaking up, others to examining their own biases. A few left angry, defensive, unchanged. But something had shifted. Marcus felt it. 2 days later, the Millers struck back. Alan sent a formal complaint to the Homeowners Association, accused Marcus of harassment, of creating hostile environment, of aggressive behavior. The complaint was detailed, calculated, designed to portray Marcus as threat. Tom showed Marcus the document. They sat in Marcus's living room, the words blurred together, legal language masking racist intent. "They're trying to force you out," Tom said. "I know," Marcus said. "We can fight this. Get a lawyer. Sue for defamation," Tom said. Marcus felt tired, so bone-deep tired. Every action required response. Every truth required defense. Every day required armor. "Maybe I should just sell," Marcus said. "What?" Tom's voice was sharp, disbelieving. "This house. Leave the neighborhood. Start somewhere else," Marcus said. "That's what they want," Tom said. "I know," Marcus said. "You can't give them that," Tom said. "Why not?" Marcus asked. "What am I proving? That I can withstand constant attack? That I can live surrounded by people who hate me? That's not victory. That's survival." Tom's eyes found his. Something shifted in Tom's expression. Recognition of pain he couldn't fully understand. "Your grandfather wouldn't have left," Tom said. "My grandfather lived in different times," Marcus said. "He fought different battles." "The same battles," Tom said, "just different uniforms." Marcus knew Tom was right, but knowing didn't make it easier. His grandfather had been strong, determined, unbreakable. Marcus felt breakable, felt broken already. His phone rang. Unknown number. Marcus almost didn't answer, but something made him. "Mr. Carter, this is Detective James Morrison. I'd like to speak with you about your situation." Marcus felt his stomach drop. More police, more questions, more judgment. "About what, specifically?" Marcus asked. "The harassment you've experienced, the false police report. I think we may have a case," the detective said. Marcus's breath caught. A case against the Millers, against the system that enabled them. "I'm listening," Marcus said. Tom watched his friend's face, saw hope return. Small, fragile, but real. The detective explained. False police reports were criminal. Harassment was documented. The Millers had created paper trail, evidence, proof. "I can't promise anything," Morrison said, "but I think justice is possible here." Justice. The word felt foreign, impossible. Marcus wanted to believe it, but decades of experience taught caution. "Thank you," Marcus said. "I'll think about it." He ended the call, told Tom everything. They sat in silence, processing, considering. "What are you going to do?" Tom asked. Marcus looked around his grandfather's living room, the photographs on the walls, the worn furniture, the history embedded in every corner. "I'm going to fight," Marcus said. The neighborhood gathering happened Sunday afternoon. Rachel had organized it, called it community conversation, neutral language for uncomfortable topics. 25 people came, including the Millers. Marcus arrived with Tom. They stood at the back, watching, waiting. His chest tightened when he saw Alan and Susan. But he'd promised Rachel he'd be there, would participate, would try. Rachel stood at the front. Her voice was shaky, but determined. "Thank you all for coming," she said. "We're here to talk about what happened to Marcus Carter, to understand it, to do better." "We don't need a lecture," Alan said. His voice was sharp, dismissive. "This isn't a lecture," Rachel said. "It's a conversation. If you don't want to participate, you're free to leave." Alan's jaw tightened, but he stayed. Susan beside him, both rigid, defensive. "I want to start," Rachel said, "by acknowledging my own failure. I saw the police come, I knew Marcus was being treated unfairly, and I said nothing. That was wrong. I was wrong." Her voice cracked slightly, emotion breaking through. "We all make mistakes," Janet offered. "This wasn't a mistake," Rachel said. "It was a choice. I chose comfort over justice, chose silence over truth, chose complicity." Marcus felt something shift in his chest. Rachel's words hit deeper than expected. Her honesty was rare, valuable. "What do you want from us?" Bill asked. "Self-flagellation? Public confession?" "I want honesty," Rachel said. "I want us to admit what happened, that Marcus was profiled, that race played a role, that we enabled it." "I won't admit to racism," Alan said. "I had legitimate concerns." "About what?" Marcus asked. He'd stayed silent until now, but couldn't anymore. Not when lies were presented as truth. "About suspicious activity," Alan said. "A black man driving his own car is suspicious?" Marcus asked. "Don't put words in my mouth," Alan said. "Then use your own words," Marcus said. "Say exactly what made you suspicious. Be specific." Alan's face went red. His hands gripped his chair arms. Susan touched his shoulder. Warning. Pleading. "The car seemed out of place," Alan said. "Why?" Marcus pushed. "Because it was expensive," Alan said. "And I couldn't afford it because I'm black?" Marcus asked. "I didn't say that," Alan said. "You didn't have to," Marcus said. The room was silent, tension thick enough to choke on. Everyone heard the truth neither man would fully speak. "This is ridiculous," Alan said. He stood. "I won't be attacked in my own neighborhood." "No one's attacking you," Rachel said. "We're asking for accountability." "Same thing," Alan said. He walked toward the door. Susan followed. But at the doorway, she stopped. Turned back. Her eyes found Marcus's. Something shifted in her expression. Shame, maybe, or recognition. "I'm sorry," she said softly. Then she left. The apology hung in the air, insufficient but significant. Alan hadn't apologized, probably never would. But Susan had cracked, shown humanity, admitted fault. It wasn't enough, but it was something. Marcus's breath caught. He felt exhausted, emotionally drained, but also lighter. The truth had been spoken, witnessed, acknowledged. Rachel approached him after. Her eyes were wet. "Thank you for being here," she said. "Thank you for organizing this," Marcus said. They stood together, two people trying to bridge a divide, trying to build something better. 3 days later, Rachel knocked on Marcus's door. Evening. Dark. She looked nervous, her hands twisted together. A familiar gesture Marcus now recognized as distress. "Can we talk?" she asked. "Of course," Marcus said. He led her to the living room, offered tea. She declined, sat on the edge of his grandfather's couch, her back straight, her face serious. "I need to tell you something," Rachel said. Her voice was quiet, almost ashamed. Marcus waited. He'd learned patience these past weeks, learned to let silence speak. "I was there," Rachel said. "When Alan first saw your car, when he decided to call the police, he asked me what I thought, and I said I didn't know, that maybe he was right to be concerned." Marcus felt his chest tighten. Rachel had said she'd done nothing. But this was something. This was participation. Enablement. "I didn't tell him to call," Rachel continued, "but I didn't stop him either. I validated his suspicion, made him feel justified." Her breath caught. Tears streamed down her face. "I'm so sorry," she said. "I keep saying that. But it doesn't change what I did. Doesn't erase my part in your humiliation." Marcus felt anger rise, then fade, then rise again. Rachel's confession hurt, added weight to existing pain, but it was also brave, honest, more than anyone else had offered. "Why are you telling me this now?" Marcus asked. "Because you deserve the truth," Rachel said. "All of it, even the parts that make me look terrible." "You do look terrible," Marcus said. His voice was hard, unforgiving. Rachel nodded, accepted the judgment, didn't defend, didn't excuse. "I know," she said. The silence stretched between them. Marcus studied her face, saw genuine remorse, real shame, the kind that came from moral reckoning, from confronting one's own failures. "What changed?" Marcus asked. "Why speak up now? Why organize meetings? Why confess?" "My daughter," Rachel said. "Emma asked me why I didn't help you, why I stayed silent, and I had no answer, no justification, just cowardice." She wiped her eyes, looked at him directly. "I don't want her to be like me," Rachel said. "Like the me I was. The person who valued comfort over courage, who let good people suffer because speaking up felt uncomfortable." Marcus felt something shift inside him. Not forgiveness exactly, but understanding. Rachel was trying, genuinely trying. That had to count for something. "Thank you for telling me," Marcus said. "Do you forgive me?" Rachel asked. Marcus's eyes found hers. He considered lying, offering easy absolution. But Rachel deserved truth too, uncomfortable truth. "I don't know," Marcus said. "Maybe someday, but not today." Rachel nodded slowly, stood, moved toward the door. "That's fair," she said. "More than fair." She left. Marcus sat alone. The house felt heavy around him, his grandfather's house, his house, the place where 3 generations of Carters had fought to belong, to matter, to exist with dignity. The fight wasn't over. Maybe it never would be. But for the first time, Marcus didn't feel entirely alone. The Homeowners Association meeting was mandatory. Everyone received notice. The agenda listed Marcus's name. Complaint review and community standards enforcement. Marcus read the words 3 times. Each reading made him angrier. They'd weaponized bureaucracy, turned paperwork into attack, made his existence a violation. Tom offered to come. Marcus declined. This battle he'd face alone, would face standing, would face with all the dignity they tried to strip away. The meeting room was full, more than usual. People came to watch, to judge, to witness the spectacle of Marcus's potential removal. Alan sat at the board table, president's seat, power position. His face was smug, certain of victory. Marcus took a seat in the front row, refused to hide in back, refused to shrink. The meeting opened with standard business, budget discussions, landscaping concerns, mind-numbing procedure designed to exhaust, to make people leave early. Marcus stayed. Finally, Alan cleared his throat. His moment had arrived. "We need to address a serious matter," Alan said. "Mr. Carter has engaged in harassment, created hostile environment, violated community standards." "How?" Marcus asked. He didn't wait to be called on, didn't follow protocol. His voice was loud, clear, unafraid. "You came to my home uninvited," Alan said. "I knocked on your door during daylight hours. That's not harassment. That's visiting," Marcus said. "You were threatening," Alan said. "I asked questions," Marcus said. "Uncomfortable questions, but not threats." The board members exchanged glances, uncertain. The situation wasn't as clear as Alan had promised. "There's also the matter of your behavior at community gatherings," Alan continued. "Your aggressive tone, your accusations." "My accusations were true," Marcus said. "You called the police on me for existing, for driving my own car, for being black in your neighborhood." "I never said that," Alan said. "You never had to," Marcus said. Rachel stood from the audience. Her voice cut through the tension. "I was there," she said, "when Alan decided to call the police. He made assumptions based solely on Marcus's race. That's not opinion, that's fact." "Sit down, Rachel," Alan said. "No," Rachel said. "I'm tired of sitting down, tired of staying silent, tired of letting good. People suffer because speaking up is uncomfortable." Others stood, one by one. Tom, Janet, even Bill Henderson. Not everyone. But enough. A visible tide turning against Alan's narrative. "This is out of order," Alan said. "So is calling the police on Marcus," Rachel said. Alan's face went purple, his control slipping, his certainty crumbling. "I move we dismiss these complaints," one board member said. "They lack merit, and they appear motivated by personal grievance rather than community concern." "Second," another member said. The vote was swift, 5-2. Alan's complaint died, his power exposed as fragile, built on complicity that was finally breaking. Marcus felt his breath catch, not victory, but survival, the right to stay, to exist, to belong. Alan slammed papers on the table, stood abruptly. "This meeting is adjourned," he said. He stormed out. Susan followed. Their exit felt like retreat, like defeat. Marcus remained seated. Let the moment settle. Let the vindication sink in. People approached, offered congratulations, support, apologies. He accepted them all, graciously but guardedly. Trust wasn't easily rebuilt. Rachel waited until others left, approached slowly. Her eyes were uncertain. "You were brave," Marcus said. "I should have been braver sooner," Rachel said. "But you were brave today," Marcus said. "That counts." She smiled slightly, grateful for the acknowledgement, for the possibility of redemption. Marcus walked out into the evening. The air felt different, lighter. His Ferrari sat in the parking lot, red and gleaming, undeniable. He'd fought, and he'd won. Not completely, not permanently. But today, this moment, Marcus felt strong. The neighborhood watch group exploded the next morning. Rachel had posted the truth. All of it. Alan's assumptions, the false complaint, the vote that dismissed his accusations, her own complicity. Her hands shook as she hit send. But she didn't delete it, didn't soften it. The truth stood raw and undeniable. Within minutes, responses flooded in, some supportive, many angry, a few vicious. Rachel read them all, accepted the judgment. She deserved it. Alan responded publicly. His message was careful, measured, still denying racial motivation, still claiming legitimate concern. Rachel replied directly beneath it. You saw a black man in an expensive car. You assumed he didn't belong. You called the police. That's racial profiling. Call it what it is. Her breath caught. She'd named it. Used the words Alan spent weeks avoiding. The group went silent for 30 minutes, then erupted. Neighbors chose sides. Lines were drawn. The comfortable denial shattered. Susan Miller called Rachel at noon. Her voice was shaking. How could you? Susan asked. How could I tell the truth? Rachel asked. You've ruined us, Susan said. Alan is humiliated. Our reputation is destroyed. Marcus was humiliated on his own property, Rachel said. By police, because of your husband's call. That's different, Susan said. How? Rachel asked. Susan had no answer. The silence stretched between them. Years of friendship dissolved in that quiet. I thought you were better than this, Susan said finally. I thought I was too, Rachel said. Turns out I was worse, but I'm trying to do better now. Susan hung up. Rachel sat with her phone. Her chest tightened. She'd lost friends today, social standing, comfort, but gained something more valuable. Integrity, courage, self-respect. Emma found her mother crying in the kitchen. Mom? Emma's voice was soft, concerned. I'm okay, sweetie, Rachel said. Are you sad? Emma asked. A little, Rachel said, but also proud. Why? Emma asked. Because I did the right thing, Rachel said, even though it was hard. Emma hugged her mother. Something shifted in Rachel's chest. Her daughter's respect meant more than any neighbor's approval. That evening, Rachel went to Marcus's house. Knocked firmly. He answered quickly. His face showed surprise. I wanted you to know, Rachel said. I posted everything. The truth, my part, Alan's, all of it. Marcus's eyes found hers. Something shifted in his expression. Respect, maybe, or recognition of cost paid. Thank you, Marcus said. I should have done it weeks ago, Rachel said. You did it now, Marcus said. That's what matters. They stood on his porch. Evening settling around them. Two neighbors becoming something more. Allies, maybe friends. The Millers are angry, Rachel said. I bet, Marcus said. Are you worried? Rachel asked. Marcus felt his jaw tighten. Worried? Always. But also tired of being afraid. Tired of letting fear dictate his life. Let them be angry, Marcus said. I'm done shrinking. Rachel smiled. Her voice was firm when she spoke. Me too. Alan Miller's world crumbled slowly. Then all at once. The neighborhood watch post went viral. Local news picked it up. National outlets followed. Suddenly, everyone knew his name. His face, his actions. He tried damage control, posted clarifications, called it misunderstanding, blamed media distortion. But Rachel's words were clear. Screenshots didn't lie. The truth remained undeniable. His law firm received calls, complaints, clients expressing concern, partners discussing options, professional reputation tied to personal scandal. Susan watched her husband unravel. He stopped sleeping, stopped eating, paced their house at night, his confidence shattered, his certainty gone. We should move, Susan said. We're not running, Alan said. His voice was hard, but his eyes showed fear. Alan, this isn't going away, Susan said. It will blow over, Alan said. These things always do. But it didn't blow over. More neighbors came forward, shared their own experiences. Times Alan had made assumptions, comments that seemed innocent then but looked different now. A pattern emerged. Undeniable. Documented. Marcus watched from a distance. Felt no satisfaction, no joy, just exhaustion. The Miller's downfall didn't erase his humiliation, didn't undo the damage. Tom came by Thursday evening, brought dinner. They ate in silence, comfortable silence, brotherhood silence. "They're talking about forcing Alan off the board," Tom said. "I heard," Marcus said. "How do you feel about that?" Tom asked. Marcus considered the question. How did he feel? Vindicated? Angry? Sad? "Tired," Marcus said finally. "Just tired." Tom's eyes found his. Something shifted in Tom's expression. Understanding beyond words. "You won," Tom said. "Did I?" Marcus asked. "What did I win? The right to live in a neighborhood that will always see me as different? The privilege of constant vigilance? The joy of knowing my existence is political?" Tom had no answer. Marcus didn't expect one. The doorbell rang. Marcus tensed. His body still reacted to unexpected visitors, still expected threat. Susan Miller stood on his porch, alone. Her face was pale, eyes red from crying. She looked smaller somehow, diminished. "Mrs. Miller," Marcus said. "Please," she said, "can we talk?" Marcus looked at Tom. Tom nodded slightly, stood. "I'll be outside," Tom said. He left them alone. Marcus and Susan faced each other. The silence stretched, heavy with history, with hurt. "I'm leaving him," Susan said. Her voice was barely above whisper. Marcus felt his breath catch. He hadn't expected this, hadn't imagined the Millers' marriage breaking. "I'm sorry," Marcus said. "Don't be," Susan said. "I should have left years ago, before this. I knew what he was. I just didn't want to see it." "Why are you telling me this?" Marcus asked. Susan's eyes found his. Tears streamed down her face. "Because I need you to know. Not everyone who hurt you is beyond redemption. Some of us can change. Some of us want to." Marcus studied her face, saw genuine remorse, real transformation, the kind that came from moral collapse, from seeing yourself clearly, finally. "I believe you," Marcus said. Susan nodded, started to leave, then stopped. "What he did was unforgivable," she said, "but I did it too, by staying silent, by supporting him, by being complicit." "I know," Marcus said. "Will you ever forgive me?" Susan asked. Marcus felt his chest tighten. Forgiveness. The word everyone wanted. The gift only he could give. "Maybe," Marcus said, "but not today." Susan accepted this, left without argument. Marcus watched her walk away, shoulders bent, spirit broken, changed. He hoped the change was real. The community meeting was Rachel's idea. But Marcus agreed to speak, to tell his story, to make people understand what happened, what still happens, every day. The turnout surprised him. 50 people, maybe more. They filled the community center, stood against walls, sat on floor, came to listen. Really listen. Marcus stood at the front. His heart pounded. His hands were steady, though. His voice would be steady, too. "My name is Marcus. Carter," he said. "I've lived in this neighborhood my entire life. 42 years. Same house, same street, same community." He paused. Let that sink in. 3 weeks ago, someone called the police on me, said I'd stolen my car, made that assumption based on nothing, except my skin color. The room was silent, uncomfortable but attentive. I was humiliated, treated as criminal, on my own property, in front of my neighbors. Some of you watched, some recorded. Nobody intervened. Marcus's eyes scanned the crowd, saw shame on many faces, defiance on others. "I'm not here for apologies," Marcus said. "I'm here to tell you something important. This isn't about one incident, one bad day, one misunderstanding." His voice grew stronger, more certain. "This is about systems, patterns, the everyday experience of being black in America, in this neighborhood, in this country. Rachel stood near the front. She nodded encouragement. Marcus felt grateful for her presence. "You want to know what it's like?" Marcus asked. "Imagine being questioned every time you succeed, every achievement doubted, every possession scrutinized, every action judged through lens of suspicion." Bill Henderson shifted uncomfortably. Others did too. Marcus saw them, understood their discomfort, didn't soften his words. Imagine working twice as hard for half the respect. Imagine proving your humanity daily. Imagine being exhausted from existence itself. His breath caught. The emotion threatened to overwhelm him, but he pushed through. "I bought that Ferrari with money I earned, through decades of work, of sacrifice, of excellence, but that didn't matter, because in your eyes, I couldn't possibly deserve it." Someone in the back started to object. Tom stood, his presence a silent warning. The objection died. "Here's what I want you to understand," Marcus said. "Your discomfort right now, this awkwardness, this desire to defend yourself, that's nothing compared to what I feel every day." Marcus felt tears threaten. He blinked them back. His voice was firm when he continued. "So yes, I'm angry, I'm hurt, I'm tired, but I'm also still here, still standing, still demanding the respect I deserve, the respect every human deserves." The silence that followed was complete. Total. Heavy with truth people couldn't escape. "What do you want from us?" someone asked. Marcus considered the question. What did he want? Justice? Understanding? Change? "I want you to see me," Marcus said. "Really see me. Not as threat, not as anomaly, not as exception, as human, as neighbor, as equal." He sat down. Exhausted, emptied, but also lighter. The truth was spoken, witnessed, received. People approached after, some with tears, some with promises, some with shame. Marcus accepted it all, graciously, but carefully. Trust was earned slowly. Rachel hugged him briefly. Her voice was thick with emotion. "Thank you," she said. "Thank you," Marcus said, "for standing with me." They left, together. The evening air felt cleaner somehow. Fresher. Marcus breathed deeply. His phone buzzed. "Detective Morrison," Marcus answered. "We're moving forward with charges," Morrison said, "against Alan Miller for filing false police report, among other things." Marcus felt something shift inside him. Justice. Real justice. Not perfect, but present. "Thank you," Marcus said. He ended the call, looked at the stars above, felt his grandfather's presence somehow, the man who'd bought this house, who'd faced his own battles, who'd taught Marcus to stand tall. Marcus stood tall now. Finally. Fully. The charges against Alan Miller became public Friday morning. Local news covered it extensively. The privileged white man who'd weaponized police against his black neighbor faced consequences. Finally. Publicly. Alan's law firm forced his resignation. His partners released statement, distanced themselves, protected their reputation. Alan was alone now, abandoned by systems that once protected him. Marcus received dozens of calls, interview requests, speaking opportunities. Civil rights organizations wanted his story, his voice, his pain packaged for consumption. He declined most, accepted a few, carefully chosen. Platforms that allowed nuance, complexity, truth beyond sound bites. The neighborhood association called emergency meeting. Alan's removal from the board. Unanimous vote. Even his former allies abandoned ship. Self-preservation trumped loyalty. Marcus didn't attend. Didn't need to see Alan's final humiliation. Found no joy in another man's destruction, even when deserved. But Rachel went. She sent Marcus updates throughout. Alan tried to defend himself. Failed spectacularly. Susan wasn't there. She'd filed for divorce 2 days prior. The Millers' unified front crumbled completely. "He blamed you," Rachel texted. "Said you were oversensitive. That race had nothing to do with it." Marcus wasn't surprised. People rarely admitted truth about themselves, especially truth that cost them everything. That evening, Alan appeared at Marcus's door. Unannounced, uninvited, Tom was there, positioned himself protectively. "What do you want?" Marcus asked. His voice was cold, guarded. Alan looked terrible, unshaven, unwashed, eyes wild with desperation. "I need you to drop the charges," Alan said. "I didn't press charges," Marcus said. "The state did." "But you could ask them to stop," Alan said. "You could tell them it was misunderstanding." Marcus felt rage build, hot and consuming. This man, this entitled, privileged man, still refused accountability, still sought escape. "It wasn't a misunderstanding," Marcus said. "You profiled me. You called police. You tried to destroy me. Those are facts." "I made a mistake," Alan said. "You made a choice," Marcus said. Alan's face crumpled. Tears came. Real tears. Ugly crying. But Marcus felt nothing. No sympathy. No forgiveness. Just exhaustion. "Please," Alan begged. "I've lost everything. My job, my wife, my reputation. Isn't that enough?" "I lost my dignity," Marcus said. "My sense of safety. My belief that hard work and success would protect me. Is that enough?" Alan had no answer. The silence between them felt final. Absolute. "You want mercy?" Marcus asked. "Show me you've learned something. Show me you understand what you did, not to avoid consequences, but because you genuinely comprehend the harm." Alan's eyes found his. Something shifted in Alan's expression. Recognition, maybe, or just deeper despair. "I don't know how," Alan whispered. "That's not my problem," Marcus said. "You took my peace. Now you live without yours." Marcus closed the door. Firmly. Finally. Alan stood outside for a long moment, then left. Defeated. Broken. Changed or not, Marcus couldn't tell. Didn't care. Tom's eyes found his. "You okay?" Marcus felt his chest tighten. Then release. Something fundamental had shifted. He'd reclaimed power. Set boundaries. Refused to absolve for others' comfort. "I'm okay," Marcus said. And he meant it. Spring arrived softly. Trees bloomed. Weather warmed. The neighborhood felt different. Lighter somehow. Or maybe Marcus felt lighter. Freer. People waved now when he drove by. Really waved. Not performative. Not guilty. Just neighborly. Some stopped to talk. Asked about his work, his life. Treated him like human. Like equal. Rachel became genuine friend. They had coffee weekly. Discussed everything. Nothing. Built trust slowly. Authentically. Emma joined sometimes. Bright and curious. Untainted by adult prejudices. "Mr. Carter, did you always want a Ferrari?" Emma asked one Saturday. Marcus smiled. The question was innocent. Pure. "Since I was your age," Marcus said, "I saw one in a magazine. Thought it was the most beautiful thing ever." "It is beautiful," Emma said. "You earned it." Simple words. Child's clarity. But they touched something deep in Marcus. Validation from innocence meant more than adult apologies. Tom threw a barbecue, 4th of July weekend, invited the whole street. Most came, even those who doubted, who judged, who'd stayed silent. Marcus grilled. Tom provided music. Rachel organized games for kids. The community gathered, genuinely gathered, without tension, without subtext. Bill Henderson approached Marcus mid-afternoon. His face showed shame, discomfort, but also determination. "I owe you an apology," Bill said. "Probably," Marcus said. Bill's breath caught. He'd expected easier forgiveness. Marcus didn't offer it. "I thought of myself as liberal, progressive, Above prejudice, Bill said. But I stayed silent when you needed allies. I prioritized my comfort over your safety. Why are you telling me this? Marcus asked. Because you deserve to hear it, Bill said. And I deserve to say it, to own it, to be uncomfortable with my own failures. Marcus studied Bill's face, saw genuine remorse, real growth, the kind that came from honest self-examination. Thank you, Marcus said. Can you forgive me? Bill asked. Eventually, Marcus said, but friendship requires more than apology. It requires consistent action, proving change is real. Bill nodded slowly, accepted the challenge, walked away thinking, processing, growing maybe. The party continued until sunset. Laughter filled the air. Children played, adults relaxed. For one afternoon, the neighborhood felt like community, real community. As people left, many approached Marcus, offered gratitude for staying, for fighting, for teaching them to see, to understand, to do better. Marcus accepted their words, graciously but guardedly. Trust rebuilt slowly, one interaction at a time, one consistent action at a time. Rachel was last to leave. She hugged him genuinely. This is what it should have been, she said. From the beginning. But it wasn't, Marcus said. No, Rachel agreed. But it is now. That's progress. Marcus watched her go. Stood in his driveway, his grandfather's driveway, his driveway. The Ferrari gleamed under streetlights, symbol of achievement, of perseverance, of dignity reclaimed. Tom appeared beside him. They stood together, silent. Brothers. You did good, Mark, Tom said. We did good, Marcus corrected. His voice was quiet, grateful. The neighborhood was changing, not perfectly, not completely, but genuinely. One conversation at a time, one act of courage at a time, one choice to do better at a time. Marcus felt something he hadn't felt in months, maybe years. Peace, tentative peace, but peace nonetheless. August brought heat and headlines. The trial against Alan Miller concluded. Guilty on all counts. Filing false police report, harassment. Other charges Marcus didn't follow closely. Alan received probation, community service, mandatory bias training. The punishment felt insufficient. But Marcus had learned justice often did. Susan reached out again, asked to meet. Marcus agreed. Curious, cautious. They met at coffee shop. Neutral territory. She looked different, stronger somehow, more herself. Less the woman who'd stood behind her husband's certainty. I'm sorry, Susan said. I know I keep saying it, but I mean it, every time. More each time. I believe you, Marcus said. I've been doing work, Susan said. Real work, reading, learning, talking to people, confronting my own prejudice, my own complicity. Marcus felt his chest tighten. Susan's effort was visible, genuine, the kind that came from choosing growth over comfort. What changed? Marcus asked. Everything, Susan said. Leaving Alan, losing social circle, having to rebuild myself. I finally saw what I'd been, what I'd enabled, what I'd ignored. Her eyes found his. Something shifted in her expression. Vulnerability, maybe. Or hope. I'm not asking for forgiveness, Susan said. I know that's not mine to demand. But I wanted you to know. I'm different now. Truly different. Marcus studied her face. Saw truth there. Transformation that went beyond words, beyond performance. Thank you for telling me, Marcus said. They talked for an hour. About change, about growth, about the difficulty of confronting yourself. Susan didn't make excuses, didn't minimize, just owned her failures, her past, her journey forward. When they parted, Marcus felt something unexpected. Hope. Real hope. That people could change, could grow, could become better versions of themselves. Rachel's friendship deepened too. They had dinner regularly. Marcus at her house, Rachel at his. Emma always present, creating bridge between families, between histories, between futures. "I'm writing about this," Rachel told him one evening. "My experience, my complicity, my awakening." "Why?" Marcus asked. "Because other people need to hear it," Rachel said. "Other white people who think they're good but stay silent. Who think not being actively racist is enough. It's not enough. It never was." Marcus felt gratitude flood through him. Rachel was using her privilege, her platform, her voice, for change, for justice, for others who'd face what he'd faced. "Thank you," Marcus said. "Don't thank me," Rachel said. "This is baseline. This is what I should have done from the start." They sat in comfortable silence. Two friends, two people who'd grown through crisis, who'd built something meaningful from pain. Emma appeared. "Homework question." Marcus helped her, explained patiently, made her laugh. The simple domesticity felt healing. Normal, human. Later, walking home, Marcus felt peace deepen. His neighborhood wasn't perfect, never would be, but it was better, safer, more honest. The Ferrari sat in his driveway, symbol of achievement, of survival, of dignity maintained through impossible circumstances. Marcus touched the hood gently. His grandfather's voice echoed in memory. "Stand tall, son. Always stand tall." He'd stood tall, through everything, through humiliation, through rage, through exhaustion, through justice delayed and imperfect. Marcus felt proud, finally, fully, deeply proud of himself. Fall transformed the neighborhood. Leaves turned gold and red. Air grew crisp. Change settled over everything, including the Miller's house. The for sale sign appeared in September. Marcus saw it driving home. Felt nothing. No satisfaction, no vindication, just acknowledgement. The Millers were leaving, their chapter closing. Alan had moved out months before. Separate apartment, separate life, diminished existence. Susan stayed in the house until it sold, packing, preparing, moving toward future without past. Marcus never saw Alan again. Heard he'd left town entirely. Fresh start somewhere else. Whether he'd learned anything, whether he'd changed. Marcus would never know. Didn't need to know. Susan stopped by before leaving. Late October. Crisp afternoon. The moving truck was scheduled for next morning. "I'm leaving," she said unnecessarily. "I know," Marcus said. "I wanted to say goodbye," she said. "And thank you." "For what?" Marcus asked. "For not destroying me," Susan said. "You could have, after everything. But you showed mercy I didn't deserve." Marcus felt his throat tighten. Mercy. He hadn't thought of it that way, hadn't consciously chosen it, just moved forward, focused on healing, on growth, on peace. "I hope you find what you're looking for," Marcus said. "I hope I become worthy of finding it," Susan said. She left. Marcus watched her go, the last of the Millers departing. Their reign over neighborhood morality ended, their certainty exposed as hollow. A young family bought the house, interracial couple, 2 small children. They introduced themselves to Marcus first week. Friendly, open, unaware of the property's recent history. "Welcome to the neighborhood," Marcus said, and meant it. The neighborhood association elected new board. Rachel was nominated, accepted, brought new energy, new values, new commitment to actual community building. She implemented changes, diversity training, open forums, accountability structures. Some resisted, most accepted. Progress happened incrementally, imperfectly, but genuinely. Marcus was invited to join advisory committee. Declined. He'd fought enough, done enough, wanted to simply live, exist without performance, without representing anything beyond himself. Tom understood. "You earned that," he said. Rachel understood too. "Your presence is enough," she said. "Just being here, living fully, that changes things." Marcus accepted their understanding, settled into simpler rhythm. Work, friends, life, the extraordinary ordinariness he'd always wanted, finally achieved, finally allowed. Winter approached. First snow fell in November. Marcus stood at his window, watched white cover everything, clean, fresh. New, the neighborhood looked peaceful, was peaceful, more than before. Never perfect, but better. The Ferrari sat in his garage now, protected from weather, still beautiful, still symbolic, but no longer the source of conflict. Just a car, his car, earned and owned without question. Marcus felt settled. Rooted. Home finally felt like home. Not battleground, not statement, just home. Christmas lights appeared throughout the neighborhood. Marcus decorated too. Simple, tasteful. His grandfather would have approved. The house glowed warm against winter darkness. Emma helped him. Rachel supervised. They laughed together. Easy laughter. The kind that came from genuine affection, from safety, from belonging. "Mr. Carter," Emma asked, "are you happy now?" The question was innocent, but profound. Was he happy, after everything, despite everything? Marcus considered carefully. Happiness felt complex, layered, not simple joy, but deep contentment mixed with awareness, peace mixed with vigilance, hope mixed with realism. "Yes," he said finally. "I am happy." "Good," Emma said. "You deserve to be." Child wisdom, simple truth. Marcus felt tears threaten, blinked them back, smiled instead. Rachel's eyes found his. Something shifted in her expression. Understanding, gratitude, friendship deeper than words. They finished decorating, drank hot chocolate, sat together in warmth and light. 3 people, 3 stories, 1 moment of peace. Later, alone, Marcus walked through his house, his grandfather's house. 3 generations of Carters, each facing their battles, each standing tall, each making space for those who'd come after. Photos lined the walls. Grandfather in uniform, father graduating college, Marcus's own achievements. The family story told in images. Pride, perseverance, dignity. Marcus added new photo, taken at the summer barbecue. Him and Tom and Rachel and Emma, the neighborhood gathered behind them. Community, genuine community, hard-won, imperfect, real. His phone buzzed. Text from Detective Morrison. "Case closed, justice served. Thank you for your courage." Marcus smiled slightly. Justice, imperfect but present. Change, slow but genuine. Hope, cautious but real. He went to his window, looked out at the neighborhood, lights glowing, families together, peace settling. Not perfect peace, not complete peace, but peace enough. The Ferrari sat in the garage, visible through side window, red gleaming, beautiful, his, undeniable, symbol of achievement, of survival, of dignity reclaimed and maintained. Marcus felt his grandfather's presence, almost tangible, the old man's voice echoing across decades. "Stand tall, son. Always stand tall." Marcus had stood tall, through fire, through humiliation, through justice and injustice, through rage and exhaustion and doubt. He'd stood tall. And he stood tall still. The neighborhood would never be perfect. Systems would never fully change. Prejudice would persist in subtle forms. Marcus knew this, accepted this, would remain vigilant always. But tonight, this moment, he was home, he was safe, he was respected, he was seen, he was human, fully human, finally recognized as such. Marcus felt peace settle deep in his chest. Hard-won peace, fragile peace, but peace nonetheless. The kind his grandfather had fought for, his father had built toward, that he now lived. His story wasn't finished, never would be. But this chapter closed with something rare, something valuable, something his ancestors had dreamed of. Dignity, respect, home, peace. Marcus stood at his window, looked out at his neighborhood, his street, his place in the world, earned not through silence, not through shrinking, but through courage, through truth, through standing tall when everything demanded he bend. The lights glowed warm. The snow fell soft. The world turned forward. And Marcus Carter stood tall. Finally, fully, home.